Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Monday Matt Show. Today is the 9th of August, 2018. And thankfully, it's not as hot here in Washington. I'm very happy about that. It is going to reach a scorching 90-some degrees, but when you live in the Northwest, it's kind of what you think about the apocalypse feeling like. Granted, California is still on fire. Straws are still illegal there, so it's obviously worse down in that state for a multitude of reasons. But yeah, a lot of good things happening today. Anyone here catch the Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh my God, that was amazing. This is what I love about Rockstar. They've been doing this for years when it comes to launching a new game. They start breaking down a lot of bits about it, piece by piece, giving you a taste of what's to come. And obviously, I think many people, including myself, are all sitting there just like a money shot at the end of a porno, like, you just fuck on my face. This, like that's going to be a fucking gif, I swear to fuck. Anyway, so that's going on. Additionally, kind of want to, anyone here also check out the amount of dislikes I have on the videos I posted yesterday? Man, people don't like Alex Jones being called a hypocrite. That's pretty funny too. I just kind of want to issue a bit of a statement on that one because I've been getting a lot of messages from people, both positive and negative in regards to that particular video, because people out there seem to think that by calling Alex Jones a hypocrite, I stand by what happened to him. I don't. I just think it's really funny that they operate with the same exact terms of service. Essentially, they hold the same beliefs when it comes to censorship and deplatforming, and yet he's out there acting like, oh, what was me? So I'm not saying I agree with it, but you also got to call it out, right? Because that's kind of where we are now, where we are, empathy, sympathy, fuck that shit, right? That's kind of where we are these days. But that was pretty funny. And oh my God. So some of the comments on that Jared Kushner piece too is hysterical, because literally, like, a lot of and again, if you are a Trump supporter, I don't have anything against you on a personal level, but I'm going to lump you all into a category right now. A lot of Trump supporters were just like, who cares? Media does it all the time. And I'm like, these are people that I've seen. Some of the names I've seen floating around since like Gamergate days, right? That are like, no big deal. No big deal, man. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine that the owner of a newspaper decides that they want to they want to use a third-party tech engineer to quietly remove content that is negative about their friends from their own publication underneath the nose and behind the back of their editor-in-chief. Because that's a thing that you want to, that's the thing that you want to sit there and, what's the word I want to use here? Approve of. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? That sounds all hunky-dory grand in my opinion. Jesus fucking Christ, man. To me, that cracks me up. It just cracks me up. It's like, how can you sit there and think that is remotely okay? I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's a leftist or a right person doing it. A right winger doing it. I don't care. Ethics are ethics, and you got to stand by that shit. I'm just saying. Right? You can't sit there and approve that from anyone. But where we are right now in regards to tribalism is so interesting, because we sit there and we don't really fight back against it anymore. We're not fighting back against it much anymore. And that's just, it's just annoying. It's like, everything is tribalistic. Everything is a problem. Everything is, crazy, and people like me got to call it all out, but we don't make any friends in the process, which is one of the reasons why, listen, you guys coming in here, spending part of your day with me, watching this live is a lot of fun. I'm actually having more fun doing it live, than not. Even right before starting this up, I did the $3 Theater episode, which wasn't live, but that's coming out after this one, this stream ends. And that's, again, if you want to catch more movie news, I got a whole 25-minute video over there. That's all about what's going on today. And there's like a lot to cover, especially if you are, I'll give you guys a hint. They want to make Venom PG-13. Get your torches and pitchforks, motherfuckers, because it's going to be a battle for the R-rated movies. So there is definitely, yeah, we got to break the conditioning. I don't have air conditioning in here, else I would break it. That's how much I would do that for you guys. I would take air conditioning and I would break it. And then I would be like, we're breaking the air conditioning. Also, I fully admit that I watched, a lot of, I don't want my phone going off next to the thing. I watched a lot of Creationist Cat this morning. So, if you haven't seen Creationist Cat, you should. He's really funny. All right, so we got 100 people in here. We've been on for about 8 minutes now, 9 minutes now. I just want to make sure we give a few more people the time to come on in before we jump into it here. So yeah, other than that, that's what I'm up to today, and looking at some stuff here. Trump should promote Christianity. No, we don't. No, we're not a Christian nation. We need to not that. We need to have separation of church and state. Anyone up there trying to argue that we need to put the Bible back in politics needs to be launched out of a cannon into a vat of nacho cheese with a, that's, I don't know how that would even be remotely painful. That sounds like actually a lot of fun. But no, you don't want to have the Bible in regards to that. That's ridiculous stuff right there. That's just terrible. That is just, it's terrible. It's just terrible. All right, so let's jump into the first story here because we got some stuff to talk about here with my boy Dank. We got to talk about the situation with Dankula because I saw his video and while I won't be responding to that directly, I'll be responding to an article on Breitbart. I just, man, I will fully admit up the front, I'm not super happy with his particular plan of attack because I get it, but at the same time, man. It just sucks all around. That's all. I just want to start by saying it sucks all around. So it says here, I will not bend the knee. Nazi pug comedian Count Dankula vows to defy court after appeal rejected. And while that is hyperbolic of a headline and definitely kind of clickbaity, yeah, and it's true. Marcus Meechin, Count Dankula, will not bend the knee. And I get it. I do get it. I just don't think it's the right play. But I'll get to that here when we get done. Now, YouTube comic Marcus Count Dankula Meechin has vowed to defy Scottish judiciary after his attempts to appeal a conviction for teaching his girlfriend's pug dog to respond to grossly offensive commands as a joke. And they were pretty funny. The politically incorrect comic, a strident anti-communist who describes himself as a center-left libertarian and clashes frequently with genuine white nationalists online, was fined £800 for a viral video in which a pug named Buddha was filmed watching Adolf Hitler speeches and raising his paw in response to the command Sieg Heil. Look, that is still to this day hysterical. Buddha, gas the Jews. It's just, it's so terrible in its hilariousness that it's one of the reasons why, like, I get why people flock to him. Count Dankula is an awesome dude. I hope to one day actually meet him in person, shake his hand, buy him a beer, and make really horrible jokes all night long. And the thing is, I want him to be out of jail in order for that to still take place, because I think there's better things to do with your time than being a fucking martyr. But anyway, now Meechin stated in the video that his purpose was to piss off his girlfriend, who thought the dog was the cutest thing in the world, by turning it into basically a Nazi. However, the sheriff, a type of Scottish judge, ruled it as self-evident that his video was anti-Semitic over the protestations of the accused in a trial without a jury. The YouTuber denounced the conviction as a very, very dark day in regards to freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and vowed to appeal it and crowdfunded a huge legal war chest to do so from sympathetic members of the public. But in the latest video update by Count Dankula, he claims that his attempts to appeal have been rejected, in which he suggested it could be interpreted as a veiled threat to tell his lawyer to back off. And that is true. There was a comment that was made there about keeping his finding his lawyer in contempt of court and whatnot. So you can tell that there is clearly a situation here where this legal court system is very much against him. And I think part of it is fueled by the negative attention that they've received and the extreme positive attention that Dankula has received, because I do think that these judges, these guys that are clearly out of touch with the way that the world works in 2018, or well, in this case, 2016, when it happened, they think ultimately that like jokes actually mean real things. You know what I mean? Like we're I don't want to say we're in a post-joke society, although it feels like it from time to time. But memes are a big thing now, and the younger generation gets them. The older generation doesn't. And that's kind of where I think he's finding himself at this point in time. It just sucks because like, it's so stupid. But then again, listen, I will fully admit I'm an American. I got freedom of speech here. I got freedom of expression here. It's my First Amendment right. If I want to teach my cat, to like, I don't know, act as a Maoist or something. I don't know. I'm just saying I have the right to do that. They don't. And it's ridiculous. I flat out told Dank, come to America. If you're looking for a sponsor, I'll sponsor you. And they don't want to leave, which I get. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, maybe we just view things from a different level politically. I guess that's where it's at right now. But anyway, he goes on to say here that his appeal has been rejected at both stages. He informed his audience of almost 310,000 subs. Reading from what he claims was a first rejection letter, Meechin said he was told his conviction was not arguable, saying this was a deeply unpleasant offense in which disgraceful and utterly offensive material was very widely distributed by the appellant. This was also considerable distress for the Jewish community, and just as disturbingly, the apparent approval of a large number of persons who appear to share the appellant's racist views. Now, listen. Again, he had a small subscriber base when he made that video. It was, I want to say it was around like 1,200 or something. It was a small subscriber base when he first made that video. It was very, very small. It's so small, like this judge's penis, apparently. But that's the thing, is like, it was very tiny, it's so small. And then now it's blown up. But what it is, it's not so much that people agree with racist views. People can tell a damn joke. And they don't want to see freedom of speech stifled. They don't want to see freedom of expression stifled. And they want to fight back, which is one of the reasons why I think both him and Sargon have gotten a lot more politically motivated with UKIP over there in the UK. And same with even Paul Joseph Watson. I understand their motives behind it, right? I just where things are going with this thing next, and I'm sure many of you already know this, I have so much trouble supporting a course of action that I think takes you out of the game simply to prove a point. You know what I mean? Like, if there are hills to die on, I don't think this one is specifically it. But that's just the way I would approach things. But let's continue here. Now, the letter claims Meechin was fortunate that the learned sheriff did not hand down a custodial sentence, and goes as far as to suggest that Meechin's lawyer was fortunate he did not himself require representation on the matter of contempt of court for endorsing Meechin's defiance. And says, you know, what does this paragraph look like to you? The Scotsman asked his viewers. It looked a little bit of a message from my lawyer there as basically a back off, which I would agree. I think it is. Now, Meechin added that he's not quite at the end of his roads in terms of legal recourse, and that his team will attempt to have the Scottish Criminal Case Review Commission force the courts to hear his appeal, but that in the meantime, his unpaid fine will remain active and must be paid by October 2018. Meechin reiterated that his previous vow that he would refuse to pay his fine because I'm not a criminal, I've done nothing wrong. The intent and context of what I did was completely ignored, and what was substituted was this completely farcical, apparent, secret, racist Nazi ideology. Going on to say here that whether we like it or not, boys, I'm going to jail unless his attempts to win the appeal are somehow succeeded. And I don't see them being succeeded. But he's got a ways to go before he ends up getting into the situation where he would, I guess, get there, right? Where he would be taken to jail. So the way he broke it down in his video was he doesn't pay the fine. So then they send him to, so they basically send him a letter saying, you got to come back and explain why you didn't pay the fine. And then they're going to offer, like, you know, sentence him to like community service or increase the fine. And then this is going to go through another time window in order for him to pay it. Then he won't pay it. And then after a fair amount of time, because I mean, look at how far this thing's taken to get to where we are right now. We're talking a fair amount of time. I think he's playing the long game. But in the end, he's like, well, I'm going to go to jail. I'm not going to pay it. And the thing is, look, Dank is not a criminal, 100%. Whatever happened, you know, what's happened to him is bullshit. What's happened to him is just, it's stupid. It's terrible. And it's completely ridiculous. And unfortunately, that is the world that they live in Scotland. Here, we don't have that problem. We have people that would make the claims that, you know, people out there think I'm a fucking Nazi, you know, because I've defended dankula. I've defended people who I disagree with on many issues. I think the joke was really funny. But when it comes to the concept of going to jail over this, I just think that is ridiculous. I do. You know, Dank, I love the guy. I think that is, I'd rather live to fight another day, because being a martyr for this, I get it. But how long would he go away for? You know, I mean, if it's a few months, maybe that's one thing, but if we're talking years, you know, I mean, if he defies the court enough and they want to throw the book at him for a number of things, they might try. And then that takes him out of the game for a long period of time. And I don't see that being a positive. That's my personal take on it. I'm sure his fans out there would disagree. He's doing this to fight back, to fight for free speech. And I 100% agree with that. But this is something that's going to be won in the court system, probably not here. You know what I mean? Like, this is not going to be one on this particular fight, because this particular judge already has an opinion. He thinks that dankula is a racist, is a Nazi, taught this pug, to do a Sieg Heil and to bark at gas the Jews as a way to intimidate the local Jewish community. None of that is true. But his mind is already made up. So in this particular court, it's not going to go the way that they want. The prosecution tried even putting extra charges on Dankula because they want to make a fucking martyr out of him. So don't give him the opportunity. Yes, he's not a criminal. Pay the damn fine. Use the war chest and then mount a massive political push. A massive political push in order to get these people pulled out, get them, I don't know how it works over there. I don't know how they're elected or how they're put into positions of power, but start backing your own people. This is a long game. This is a long game. And if his plan is to go to jail while Sargon and Paul Joseph Watson start to, work on the UKIP party as a way to gain support that way, that could be plan too. And again, I have no freaking idea. It's just, at the same time with that one, if Nigel Farage comes back into play because of Brexit and he goes back to taking over UKIP, it's going to blow all that shit out of the water. I just don't think it's the right play. And I know people out there are going to disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. I would rather fight it politically. I would rather fight for the long game, but I'd rather still be a player in the game rather than getting myself taken out as a way to prove a point. Because at that point, all you're ultimately doing is just delaying things for no other purpose than just your pride, which I get. I get that. I do get that. But if this is bigger than you got to put that away and think for the longer game and then ultimately the greater good, which again will be a very interesting discussion for this in the comments. I can already see the chat on the side going nuts too. So there's that. But again, we can disagree on this, but that's where I currently feel things are at. I would do it differently, but that's me, not them. And that's just where it is. So let's talk about this Momo suicide challenge thing, because now we're moving over into the realm of God, I hate the internet. If the internet, if it's not trying to throw you in jail for a Nazi pug joke, they're trying to get you to kill yourself. That's kind of where I feel things are right now in regards to the internet. And what we're looking at here is the sinister Momo suicide challenge sparks fear as it spreads on WhatsApp. Can we just stop for a second and realize that like Snapchat and WhatsApp and Instagram and a lot of these social media companies or these outlets, these programs, these apps are just terrible. They're just terrible. And I say this while I completely am promoting my Twitter and my Facebook, my Patreon in the corner of the screen, which you should totally follow me there to keep up to date on what I talk about, which is not suicide games, by the way. So, so it says here that a new internet game called Momo is challenging users to commit suicide. Law enforcement agencies in a number of countries are expressing deep concern about Momo. Momo is a game where the controller encourages youngsters to harm themselves after sending them violent messages via the messaging app. If they do not comply, they are apparently threatened. Now, that's what I don't understand. Okay, so you're playing the game. Someone's like, do you want to play a game? And you're like, no, I saw Scream in 1996, you fucking moron. I don't want to play a game. I know how this is going to end. Either way, I'm going to die. Thank you very much. I'm going to go back to playing Fortnite. And that's where it's at. But no, it hits them up and encourages them to harm themselves and then threatens them afterward. Like, again, words on the internet. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Words will never hurt me. Is it something I said on the playground as a child? But now we're in the playground of social media, and that stuff apparently is way more harsh than it used to be. Now, the extremely disturbing avatar was created by a Japanese artist with no connection to the game. Momo started on Facebook and involves members who are challenged to communicate with an unknown member. Police in Argentina are connecting the game to the recent death of a 12-year-old who committed suicide. They are currently looking for the user she exchanged messages with. Well, here's the thing with that. Just as a kind of pivot over to American politics, we did discover that Paul Manafort, a former Trump presidential campaign manager, while in jail, while on house arrest, was using WhatsApp to send secure communication to potential witnesses in order to help him get out of trouble with law enforcement. So they found that out because somebody narked on that. And I'm pretty sure WhatsApp would be willing to comply with law enforcement in order to get the information on who this person is. So it's not like, it's not like out of the realm of possibilities that they'll be able to figure this one out. Now it says here that the Momo game reportedly has been reported in United States, Mexico, Argentina, France, and Germany. It's unclear how widespread the game is, but claimed it was mostly a form of bait used by criminals to steal data and extort people on the internet. This coming from Rodrigo Nejim, Brazil's NGO SaferNet. So far, Momo is known to be connected with at least 3 phone numbers in Japan, Colombia, and Mexico. Police in Spain have warned, do not go into Momo. If you record the number on your calendar, you will see a strange woman's face. It's the latest WhatsApp viral to come in vogue among teenagers. So what are they doing here? They're essentially trying to say, hey guys, this thing could kill you. By the way, it's totally taboo. If you see it, don't answer it. You're telling teenagers to not do something never works. Because once you make it forbidden, they have to know what it is. They have to see what all the fuss is about, which is pretty much the problem when it comes to, I think, dealing with a lot of this kind of stuff. Now, what's interesting to me about this Momo suicide game is our challenge, not game, it's a challenge, it's even so stupid, is that it does seem very similar to the Blue Whale Challenge. And I've talked about that a couple times in the past, where ultimately the Blue Whale Challenge is where people are contacted on social media, generally younger, 12 to 14-year-old, and they're given a series of challenges. And a lot of the times the challenges involve very kind of mundane things that you wouldn't really think would have an impact on a person's psyche. But when they say get up at a certain time every single day and then make it earlier and earlier and earlier, these kids start getting fewer and fewer hours of sleep, which then does start impacting them mentally. And then they are more then open to suggestion, which then involves self-harm, I think breaking things. And then ultimately the way you win the game is to commit suicide. This is a legitimate thing. Recently, it was falsely attributed to a video game ban in Saudi Arabia, which was an unfortunate mistake on my part to cover it like that, because it was a fake news scenario. But the challenge itself legitimately exists. But let's find out more about just what exactly is Momo. Okay, so according to Know Your Meme, which is a great resource if you want to learn more about what the hell's going on with certain memes, Momo is part of a series on creepypasta, saying here that Momo is a nickname given to a sculpture of a young woman with long black hair, large bulging eyes, a wide smile, and bird legs. Pictures of the sculpture are associated with an urban legend involving WhatsApp phone number that messages disturbing photographs to those who attempt to contact it, linked to a game referred to as the Momo Challenge. Now, coming down here past all these crazy-ass things, the Momo Challenge here, apparently just started. So on July 25th, 2018, the Buenos Aires Times reported that the police were investigating the WhatsApp Momo game that was involved in the suicide of a 12-year-old girl. So this happened a few weeks ago. Now, on August 2nd, Fox News reported on the WhatsApp game as the Momo Suicide Challenge, comparing it to the Blue Whale Challenge. On August 8th, YouTuber Repzilla uploaded a video titled How Momo Challenges Uses Psychology to Kill, which is referred to as a suicide challenge similar to the Blue Whale Challenge. So what this says to me essentially is that the Momo Suicide Challenge is just a variation of the Blue Whale Challenge. But and these are still kind of looked at as being like urban legends, right? They're still being looked at as that they're not realistic. I mean, kids commit suicide all the time for various amount of reasons. And by the way, I'm not glorifying that or trying to like minimize it. It's a horrible act. It's terrible. You know, I wish we had a better mental health. I wish it wasn't as stigmatized, to be honest with you. But the point is, it happens, right? It does happen. And to always try to equate it to something like this, I don't know if it's taking away from what's going on in those kids' own lives. I don't know if it's taking away from what's happening in regards to just their home life or anything going on, or if it really is some sinister online game that is targeting children as a way to get them to a point of where they just are pushed towards suicide. I have no idea, but this is where we are right now. So the Blue Whale Challenge is a thing. The Momo Suicide Challenge is now being talked about kind of in its place. It feels like the two are generally pretty well connected. But I guess my question is, and this is where I'm legitimately somewhat confused, is this a real thing? Is this a myth? Is this an urban legend? Is it bullshit? Or is it something to be really, really, really worried about? Is this just, I don't know. Like to me, my feel is that like, it's probably not as real as people are out there trying to make it real. But when you have legitimate sites like Fox reporting on it, and you've got it coming out of other countries and you hear certain things, kind of rumblings, you just wonder if it's some kind of satanic panic that is just being used as a scapegoat to really deflect from the fact that children out there, younger children, do have some mental health issues that are never addressed, and they do commit suicide, and the families or friends or society is trying to shift blame away from looking at it objectively and trying to put it on something that doesn't exist as to create a boogeyman, rather than, I guess, address the problem. All right, let's talk about this thoroughbred white woman. You guys heard about this one? This was really, really, really funny. What we've got here is this woman here got busted for a DUI. She got busted for a DUI, and well, the headline of the article, I do think, really summarizes it. Real estate agent accused of drunken driving pleads with cops that she is a very clean, thoroughbred white girl. Oh, this one's gonna go over well on the internet, isn't it? Right? You got a woman. You can see her, right? She's like, I'm a thoroughbred white woman. Only Aryan penis ends up in this body. Only. And make sure that it's clean and it's cut and there's no smegma, and they might be Jewish, but I'm just not going to argue that. I mean, no, I'm not. I don't know how she is on a. I don't know what her preferences are in that world, but whatever. I'm saying it's like when you're drunk and you're like, I'm a clean, thoroughbred white woman. It kind of sounds like you're hiding a Confederate flag in your trunk, maybe next to some tiki torches, and that you really, really, really love Mein Kampf. It just feels that way. It feels that this is pretty much where things are at with this particular woman here. But according, because trust me, the story does in fact get better. So the woman is seen speeding through a stop sign at 60 miles an hour, told officers that they shouldn't arrest her because she's a very clean, thoroughbred white girl. Her glassy eyes and her eyes were glassy and bloodshot. Lauren Elizabeth Cutshaw was slurring her words when a breathalyzer showed her blood alcohol level at 0.18%, according to the police in Bluffton, South Carolina. Now, again, 0.08% is the legal limit. Just want to kind of reiterate that point. So 0.18% is double the legal limit, and she blew through a stop sign at 60 miles an hour. She was clearly hammered, but hey, just, she's white, so it's fine. That's basically what she's saying. All right, so Cutshaw, 32 years old. 32, she's 32, she's 32. Holy shit. I'm 36, I'm not even that bad. Like, come on, even when I was younger, like if she was like 19 years old, I could almost kind of go, okay, so she's a little affluent, right? She's never really been challenged in her entire social status at all. None of that kind of crap. She's never done anything like that. But she's 30, she's 32. So she's 32 and she's like, I'm a thoroughbred white girl. Like, okay. Someone clearly had a bit of an entitled upbringing, I would argue. I would very much argue that one. Now, she told the arresting officers that she didn't feel she should be jailed because she was a cheerleader, a dancer, and a sorority girl who graduated from a very high accredited university. Come on. That's her excuse. I'm a very clean, white, thoroughbred girl. I'm a cheerleader, a sorority girl, and I went to a highly accredited school. Like, is this it's a DUI, not a job application. And even then, you can tell this girl never, ever, ever passed college, right? She peaked in college, I guarantee that. Her life is hit that arrested development level. She left college 10 years ago. She's never been able to reclaim her glory days as a sorority girl and a cheerleader, so she tries to use it as a defense when she's caught speeding through a stop sign at 60 miles an hour. Listen, hey, I look, this thing's fun to laugh at. I'm just glad she didn't freaking kill anybody, right? I'm just glad she didn't freaking kill anybody, because ultimately, no one wants that. Right? No one wants that. No one wants that at all. And then her defense is so dumb because, again, she keeps going with it. She really does. So when taken to the police station in handcuffs, she described herself as a white thoroughbred. She's a white thoroughbred. And went on to say, I'm a white, clean girl. When the officer who was arresting her, who was also white, said, what does that have to do with anything? She replied, you're a cop. You know what it means. You're a cop. You should know based on the people that come into this room. There we go, guys. There we go. Lauren Elizabeth Cutshaw showing her true colors. Like, I'm a white thoroughbred girl. What does that have to do with prostitute in China? You know what it means. I'm not one of the darkies. Like, that's what she's basically saying, right? She's that's super racist. That's like, that is so racist. There we go. And then she goes into this one too. She repeatedly stated, my partner is a cop. And she said she'd been trying to get to her boyfriend's house when she was pulled over early on Saturday. Now, Cutshaw, a real estate agent, told the officer that she's had 2 glasses of wine at an upscale restaurant. How full with glasses of wine? She says, I was celebrating my birthday. 2 glasses of wine will not put you at 0.18% BAC. It will not do that to you at all. So if she had 2 glasses of wine, it was followed up by like 18 Jello shooters, a couple Jaeger bombs, and like maybe a sea breeze. Okay. Maybe just to kind of top off the night, cleanse your palate, maybe have a little bit of that cranberry vodka mix. I know it's a sea breeze. I said it. It's stupid. But anyway, now another officer found marijuana and rolling papers in her Ford Fusion, and she may have smoked pot earlier in the evening as well. But pot is not an excuse for being a racist bitch. Because that's what she is. It's so like, I'm sorry. Look, I probably shouldn't call her a bitch, but it's like, you're going to go and like, I'm a thoroughbred white girl. I'm better than the darkies. It's come on. You're pulling that off and you're like, I had 2 glasses of wine. I might have smoked some pot earlier in the night. That's what freaking soccer moms do to settle into their nightly bath while they read 50 Shades of Grey, their dog-eared copy of 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, like that's what people have, maybe a couple glasses of wine, smoke a little bit to relax at the end of the day. They don't sit there and smoke a little J, drink a little Pinot, and Pinot, and then all of a sudden start calling for a Klan rally. Jesus. Now, she was jailed on charges including drunken driving, speeding, and marijuana possession, based in part on her own statements, saying here that making statements such as these are means to justify not being arrested are unusual in my experience as a law enforcement officer, and I believe further demonstrate the suspect's level of intoxication. So yeah, that's her. That's a story of Lauren Elizabeth Cutshaw, who clearly, looking at the image on the screen here, was not necessarily having that good of a night. You can kind of see she's going like, maybe I've made some mistakes. But if you just kind of want to know what she looks like when she's not entirely sauced, here we go. This is her. This is normally what she looks like. So yeah, clean looking white girl, right? But you get past that the makeup, you get past the teeth cleaner, you get past all the other shit, and what you got's kind of a vile person on the inside who thinks herself better because her boyfriend's a cop. She thinks she can't be arrested because she's clearly protected. And then as a last ditch effort defense, yeah, no, I'm white. Anyway, to back that up. Like, that's how I feel she was going about this. It's so stupid. It's so stupid when people pull this crap out. Look, racism is terrible, right? It is. Most people who get called a racist on the internet are not racist. They might make an uncouth joke, dankula, right? They might say something stupid, dankula, but they're telling a joke and they're not meaning it in the context that people are meaning it. But they like to try to throw the word out there as a way to delineate it, to take away its impact. When what you've got here is you've got an entitled, affluent 32-year-old Arrested Development post-college sorority cheerleader who blows through a stop sign at 60 miles an hour with 0.18% BAC and tries pulling the "my boyfriend's a cop" line and then the I'm white. I'm better than everyone here. And that is why she should be called out. That is why this kind of crap should be shouted down. It's a funny story to laugh at. It's hysterical to laugh at because this chick is clearly going to not really enjoy what comes down next. A DUI is very expensive. And if she's out there, she's probably going to end up losing her real estate license or losing her job for having these views, which I don't think she should. I think it should be a learning moment, to be honest with you. I think a person like her who is very much ingrained that belief that because the color of her skin makes her better, she'd be better served to find a way to move past that train of thought, move past that line of thinking, because this is ultimately where I think we are as a society. Is people out there, they do hide their beliefs like this, and they do so because they don't want to be ostracized or they think it's going to be whatever. But there are people out there too that want to start trying to bridge that gap by trying to show them that maybe not everyone who's a different skin color than you is a bad person. And those types of programs, those types of approaches, is these kind of situations, don't get the play that they deserve. Now, I don't know if like a judge can order sensitivity training or some crap like that, but I think it would be in our best interest to go and seek a counselor and maybe learn that just because, you know, you're white on the outside doesn't change the fact that you're pretty dark on the inside. All right, let's talk about this last story here, because this one is this one's interesting. It happened in my hometown, actually. It happened down in San Diego, and I have no idea. Let me just get a drink of water real quick. Oh yeah, I love that right there. Everyone's a little bit racist. I should have made that joke, and then also started like singing it because it's awesome. Because everyone's a little bit racist. It's true. Anyway. Everyone's a little bit racist, even you. All right, I'm done. All right, final story today, guys. This one here, this woman right here, she's a teacher, was a teacher, right? Who is currently spending time in jail, and I'm gonna give you one guess as to why a teacher is spending time, a female teacher is spending time in jail in this day and age. Well, if you guessed that it's because she had sexual intercourse with the student, you'd be correct. And the male student here has actually been awarded $2.1 million by the school district. Yeah, right. When's the last time you heard about that happening? Right, where a male student. See, this is the thing. I do want to point this out. This kind of crap right here is literally an epidemic. It's a problem. Teachers, female teachers in positions of power having relations with male students, and it is never, ever, 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 ever given the same amount of attention, the same amount of fervor, the same amount of outrage that if it were the reverse sexes here. And I will show you the comments on this article as we go through it, because that backs it up entirely. People have such a different sensibility when it comes to this particular story, that, you know, they don't view this as rape or molestation. They view this as like, nice, right? Where were those teachers when I was in school? You know, no, you don't. Like, look, if you got a hot teacher in school, you might fantasize about having sex with her. You might rub a couple out thinking about it, and that's perfectly fine. That's natural. But if she comes on to you, that's illegal. Just saying. All right, so a jury in San Diego decided Wednesday that a 19-year-old man who sued a California school district after being sexually abused by a female teacher should receive $2.1 million. The jurors found that the San Diego Unified School District was negligent in failing to prevent former Spanish teacher Tony Sutton from molesting the student over an 8-month period, beginning when he was 15 and she was 37. The district must pay $840,000 of the $2.1 million, adding that district officials have not decided yet whether they're going to appeal. Honestly, I don't think San Diego is going to appeal. They kind of bend over backwards for a lot of this stuff. They really do. I mean, you know, when I was in school down there, down in San Diego, there were rumors that like some of what we called the narcs, they were the security team, were in relationship with were some of the cheerleaders that were there. So, I mean, you hear about this like pretty much in every school. And I think that, look, it's been called out. They should pay it. If they were, you know, this is over an 8-month period of time that she was with this guy. It's not like, you know, like a one-time thing, right? That wouldn't even, I'm not saying that makes it any better if that clearly doesn't. I'm talking about just like the frequency and how often these kind of things happen, because here's the thing. It says here, Sutton, who's now 40, was sentenced to prison 2 years ago in the case, had sex with a student in her Crawford High School classroom, her car, and her home dozens of times. So not only was she having sex with the student in the classroom, she took her work home with her and in her car multiple times, dozens of times. That's not good. That is not good at all. Now, Sutton pled guilty in 2016 to unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor and oral copulation with a minor. She was ordered to register as a sex offender for life. The lawsuit argued that the district ignored red flags about Sutton's behavior. Key to their case was an expert's testimony that the school district's policy for preventing sexual abuse of students did not meet the standard. Well, I wonder what that even means. I mean, like, did they just kind of overlook it maybe at first? Were there rumors? I mean, 8 months of this thing to go on without anyone talking about it is kind of a weird thing, right? Like, it's very much a weird thing. There was a case I covered last year, I think, where a teacher in Texas, like 22-year-old or whatever teacher in Texas, had relationships with two 17-year-old students and whatnot. And one of them knew about the other one because she kind of left him for him. But then again, the age of consent in Texas is 17. So it's this weird kind of law in that regard. Still abuse of power, absolutely 100%. But it is always kind of looked at, you know, I mean, like, people talk. So 8 months of this happening and the 15-year-old wasn't bragging to his friends that Miss Sutton sucked him off in the back of her Honda Civic, probably like happened. And they maybe just looked the other way because, again, when it comes to this sort of situation, as we've seen for decades now, it never gets the same level of attention. But if this was a male's teacher and a female student, it would have been like it would, like, you know, there would have been Nancy Grace would have been down there 24/7 to get to the bottom of the sick, depraved, you know, freaking child molester, essentially. But no, we're not getting that here at all. Now, it said the financial award also reflected the jury's consideration of the emotional damage and the need for counseling the student experienced after Sutton was arrested. Defense attorneys denied that the district employees were negligent and said that they responded appropriately once they learned that Sutton had been abusing the student. In a previous case in 2009, a female student was awarded $1.25 million, of which the San Diego district had to pay $650,000 after a male teacher was found to have molested the female student. So, you know, there is a precedent here for students suing the school district and getting paid. I'm assuming that the length of time that the situation was happening, the 8-month period, is one of the things that led to the $2.1 million judgment. But again, like I said, there are people out there. You know, there are people out there that don't view this as really being much of a bad thing. And as the comments I had originally seen that were up top, well, we'll just take a quick look here to give you an idea. Now, these are internet comments, and we know they're generally terrible, but it does kind of give you a bit of an eye into the window, or a bit of a, you know, look into the soul of some of these people. You know, we got one here, DKK Kelly, saying, "What a snowflake." Odkins, his reward for being the man in school. You know, Dan Knock 24, whatever. Don't pay the little prick. He doesn't know a good thing when he has it. Trump thy master. I hope my son gets laid by a teacher when he starts high school. I'd be one proud papa. You know, was it breaking the law for that? An in and out urge, money well spent indeed. Women truly, his dream came true at 15 and again at 19. What a lucky dude. Paying him makes him look like a gigolo. You know, then you got down here, Dem commie suck with the Confederate flag. And all your amours, it's fall better to love an older woman, for her heart is tempered by sincerity. Her knowledge of the world is greater, and yet I smile. So again, totally like in support of it. Get laid, get paid, you know. You got here like Don Pyre saying, bet Junior never complained while he was getting laid. My money's on the fact that mommy and daddy found out and couldn't accept the fact that Junior was physically active. It probably wouldn't have even mattered if the teacher, or if he was with the teacher for another 15-year-old girl. He obviously had nothing to do with it, and he's been horribly scarred emotionally from the experience. Yeah, right. Now mommy and daddy see a nice cash cow. Again, we see another one down here, got laid, got paid. You know, I mean, like, it's... Look at this. She's got to be a lot uglier than that for that kind of payday. Look, this is what I'm talking about here. The situation is entirely different. The way that it's put out there is entirely different. The conversation surrounding it is always entirely different. It's always met with that nice, you know, like just the dismissal of the fact that a teacher in a position of power, regardless of gender, has a relationship with a student for 8 months, copulating multiple times in classrooms and cars and homes. And that is not seen as a bad thing. But when the guy sues and he gets $2.1 million as awarded by a jury, with an, you know, it's like, oh, it's just a payday. It's just a cash grab. Mommy and daddy must be proud. Like it's remarkably terrible in that regard how people respond to this, because it is something worth considering, to look at. Not everyone's going to have the same reaction to this. Who knows how he felt? We don't know how he felt. He could have enjoyed it. He might have been trying to tell himself that he was enjoying it. And then afterward, he realized he didn't, that he was maybe being groomed, that he was being manipulated, that he had to go see counseling and therapy as a way to get past it. But none of that's even considered, because a lot of men out there, and a lot of women too, think that men only think with their dick. That once the dick gets hard, don't fret. That means you want to go. That means you want a pile driver, a wet, moist, warm hole. Not always the case. But the psychology of men and their erections, again, so overlooked. So overlooked. And you wonder why people speak out against feminism online, because, they don't ever take into account that men and boys have feelings and thoughts and can be injured. Because men can't be injured in their minds. And that's just super, super freaking unfortunate. All right. That is the stories for today. We can definitely talk. So it doesn't seem like rape, but it's also not right. No, Razor HDD. It's rape. I mean, would it be rape? Would it be rape if it was a 37-year-old male teacher and a 15-year-old female student? Honest question. Honest question. Right? That's where we are right now, guys. That is where we are. Okay. What's with all these teachers ruining their lives by trying to have sex or by having sex or whatever with underage teens and kids? What it is it's a position of power. It's a power play. What you've got is the women out there, the teachers. I'm just going to say teachers. I'll be gender neutral on this one. That tend to think that this is a situation where there's nothing wrong, where there's nothing the matter. That it's like, oh, it's like this is nothing wrong about this, but they like having the power and control over people, and they can influence it. Jeremy Gass says, I hear you can hit her in the head with a bike lock and only get probation. Yeah, I read about that one. I read about that. That's pretty messed up. You're putting me in a montage. Okay. Of what? Let's see here. Our society is circling the drain. Curtis, it sure as hell feels like that. Let's see here. Lindsay Lohan says that the Me Too accusers are doing it for attention and look weak. That's wow. Let's see here. Do I remember that I did a story about this female teacher and a young boy, where Bill Maher called it love? I know Bill Maher defended the thing in the 90s with the one teacher. I think, was it Mary Lee Paterno, whatever her name was, that had a relationship with the 15-year-old student. She went to jail. She got pregnant by him, went to jail, and then ended up getting out of jail. And then they got together. They got caught again. He was underage, and they're still married, I think, with kids. I mean, in the end, that was love, but it still wasn't like right. If you're referring to the one I talked about with the 19-year-old girl and the 14-yeard boy, it's a different situation. It wasn't right, but I'm talking about, like, I explained that yesterday. You can go back and watch yesterday's episode. So, cool, Lord of the Wings. You can do what you want, man. Let's see here. We got to have same standards for both genders. If we agree underage female is a victim regardless of what they claim with the love the perp, we must also agree that males underage are victims. I agree, William. How do I feel about the double standard of this? I think I've been pretty clear about my feelings on the double standard of this. Is bullshit. It's 100% bullshit. I think that oftentimes people out there, they look at it differently because it involves different genders, and they think that you always hear girls develop faster than boys. So then, if that's the case, and I'm just putting this out there as a hypothetical, if that's the case, then if they mature faster, if they sexually develop faster, then why don't we have a dual set of standards for age of consent? Why is it across the board 16, 17, 18, depending on the states you're in? Like this, I'm in Washington. The age of consent here is, 16. Oregon is 18. California is 18. Texas is 17. You know what I mean? Like, it's why isn't different? You know, if they're different, if they're born different, if they develop different, why is it different? It shouldn't be, by the way. It should be the same. But I'm just saying that's kind of the whole thing. Let's see. We had an 18-year-old student and 22-year-old student teacher who liked each other. They waited until she graduated and he left his internship. Yeah, if you care, you won't put him in an untenable situation. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. That's Azer. Listen, like that's the best course of action right there. It's like, look, let's just, like, you know, I mean, they should never probably, who knows, like, just wait. They waited, and that's all you can do, really. Satsu is officially a married man. Awesome. Good for him. I know he's doing a stream tonight. Age of consent here is 18. Yeah. How long before Anita bashes Red Dead? I don't know. They showed prostitutes in today's little video, so I'm expecting tomorrow. Yeah. Oops. Hold on here. I kind of fucked something up. Okay. I screwed up with the chat. Shit. I fucked up. Okay, so hold on. I was gonna rebuild it up there. All right. Let's see. Okay. For the 16 age of consent, doesn't it only apply to other consenting teens? I don't know, Enrique. It could. Lone Wolf, I mean, I'll be on for about another 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, Chelsea, I meant to talk about that. I lost the article on that one. Let's see here. Let's see. South Carolina versus Florida. Who's the craziest? It's Florida. Illegitimate Films. Did I hear about the latest Smash Bro reveals? I know it happened yesterday. I don't intend on getting Smash, so I don't know. Is something Luigi died? Is that it? Luigi died? So let's see here. How would I solve the double standard problem on teachers and students? Like, how can you just stop it? The thing is, I honestly don't know if there's a way to stop it. But you have to make the punishment so strict that it has to act as like the ultimate deterrent. I'm not talking like death or like life in prison, but it's like something has to be very, very, very strict here, because people, they get into it a lot. Like, not a year goes by where we don't hear about multiple stories of this. Let's see here. Lord of the Wings says here, how does it feel that you're getting 5 times as many views? You really aren't, actually. And all you do, because I'm looking at your channel right now, all you're doing is talking about Wings of Redemption. So you are effectively trolling a channel that's a lot larger than you, I guess both figuratively and literally. And then you are just gaming the views on that one. You're quite literally no better than those who just sit there and suckle at the teat of DSP gaming. So how does it feel to be like that? That's fine. You can get the views, man, but you know, you do one video every couple days. I pull in 50, 60,000 views a day, so you're really not. Let's see here. Poor Luigi got killed off yesterday. How did he get killed off? Well, no, you need to stop the public perception that it's cool. The jokes need to stop in that regard, 100%. So there's that. Garrick, do I ever think about joining BitChute? I get that question a lot. And no, I don't really look at joining BitChute. If anything, I will just go back into podcasting. So, because I'm already doing that anyway. $3 Theater there's an audio podcast of that. Dueling Sabers is a podcast of that. And that's what I'm putting out there. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that listen to podcasts, and I love YouTube, and I don't want to leave YouTube, but it's, you know, for diversification, I got to branch out in other areas. So, if Picard's come back, what about Q? I would love it if Q came back. So, dude. Oh, man. Troll. Let's see. Well, what it is the woman that's mad that Picard's coming back. It's more like why and whatever. But she's very much like a Doctor Who fan, you know. So like, you know what I'm talking about on that one. They don't really mesh well with Trek fans. Is the Unite the Right thing this week? Is the Unite the Right thing happening this week? I don't know about that, man. What's my new thing with Magog? I don't have a thing with Magog, but I do love Magog. Let's see here. Worship me. Yeah, Magog's great. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the sitcom. I really want to see what he does with his stiff. You know, I want to see what he does with everything. What should you do with this clone of Mario? He keeps talking in Italian. I don't know. Pop him off somewhere. Sell him on eBay. I know the reason why, Joaquin, I don't want to get Smash is because I just literally suck at it. Like I suck at Super Smash Bros. I know it's like a get good sort of thing, but it's like I've never been able to understand it. I have Smash 4. It's still unopened. Like I bought it for the Wii U and I just never opened it. I mean, like I don't know, like if my brothers get Smash because they've all got their DSs or Switches, I might pick it up and then play with them. I do want to get Dead Cells, and I am thinking about getting Dead Cells on the Switch because it does look like a lot of fun for a Switch thing. What did I think of the Red Dead trailer? It looked awesome, man. It looked great. Red Dead looks fantastic. I didn't time anybody out, so. No, just give me Curtis. Just give me my 200. He's a troll, man. He's fine, but I can't do anything about it right now, unfortunately. So you have to wait 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Then get good. Yeah. Let's see here. Have I heard about the BioWare doing Mass Effect 5? Yeah, I heard about that. That's so dumb. That's so stupid. That's really lame, in my opinion. It's like just let it go. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. Let it go. I don't open up anymore. I don't know how the song goes. Oh, okay. Check my Streamlabs. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that today. Afterward, I keep rebuilding things in OBS. Let's see your hypothesis. $5. Thank you very much, sir. Luigi got killed by the Reaper during the reveal trailer for Simon and Richter Belmont. Oh, you know they're gonna bring him back, right? Like they're not gonna let Luigi go. So I'm definitely thinking that Luigi's going to be around, but I need to check out the trailer for it or watch it with the thing. The new Oscar category. Oh yeah, that new Oscar category is like so freaking stupid. That Oscar category is just like, it's just, here's the thing, Disney and ABC pushed for it, by the way. Disney and ABC literally pushed for that Oscar category, right? They're the ones that got them to push that because they make the most money. They want to win awards. They never win like top tier awards. They do best animation, right? But even then, that can be challenged by a better movie than what Pixar puts out sometimes. And as a result, yeah, I think it's interesting. It's all Disney, like, we want the awards. Like, just who cares? You guys make all the fucking money. What's up with all the singing today? Nah. Nah. Sometimes it's fun to sing, man. Sometimes it's just fun to sing. That's all it is. I will say this though. Holy crap. So yesterday, I talked about this a little bit. I went and saw a personal trainer on Monday and Tuesday, and I was hurting yesterday. I was so sore. Today it's a little bit better. I can't really walk very well. I had to go to Walmart last night, and I was walking all bow-legged because that's literally just what my body was doing. Like, it was bad. I felt like the oldest I've ever felt in my entire life. Like, there's muscles in my butt that I've never used, that I feel like I've never used before, that I used. And I'm like, okay, cool. I have a lot more energy, which feels fantastic, and I'm going to keep up with it. But it's like, the soreness is what you got to work through. Like, holy crap. It was bad. Disney wants the prestige. It comes with the awards. I agree. Oscars realized there was a disconnect between them, what people actually pay to watch. Well, no, that's true, Mike Mooney. That's very true. That's very, very, very true. By the way, just to point out here, if you are wondering what the green icons are next to Azure and Mike Mooney's names, that's because they are channel sponsors, which you can become one today too for the low price of $5 a month, which we will be getting custom emojis here very soon, and everything else. I have to show a little bit, Streamlabs, super chats, all that crap, because it's just the nature of the beast at this point, which is fine. Feeling the DOMs, I guess so. Let's see. Magnesium citrate before bed helps reduce lactic acid. What are both of those things? I have no idea. You heard about the Oscar crap. Most movies these days are crap. Disney are babies for that they do not win top awards. Yeah, a little bit. There was don't get Jimmy Kimmel. Bring back Seth MacFarlane, man. He had the best one in the last like 15 years. Zekris, Matt got laid, now he walks bow-legged. I didn't get laid, not last night. But I did feel like I got just pounded. So yeah, there's that. Let's see here. Oh, lactic acid. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. This is all new to me. I need to get into shape. I feel like, I feel like this is gonna be a good rest of the year for me. Like, I do want to, what is it? They're releasing like the Fantastic Beasts game, like Pokemon Go. Niantic is doing that, and then there's also going to be a Ghostbusters ARG that's like that too. So I figure like I might play those because there's not much to do here in the town I live in. But I might just do that where I go and take the kid for a walk and go out there and hunt some ghosts or catch some beasts. And try to drop some pounds that way, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. Oh, you're one of the fucking RTU dicks. Oh, I see. Okay, dude. By all means, you want to make a montage of me crying while I got my silver play button letter? That's fucking fine, man. Jesus Christ. Dude, here's the deal. You're late to the party on that one. People have been mocking me over that shit now for like 8 months. So you're just late to the game. You're not going to get the views you want because no one cares. They call me, like, that's what I laugh at the most with this one. You think it's an insult to me that you're going to put that in a video? You think it's an insult to me at all? Like, do you not realize that I filmed it, I recorded it, I uploaded it, and I've let it sit for 2 years? Like, that's not one of the more prouder moments of my professional career, which is why I expressed the emotion that I did. I mean, dude, if you're trying to do it as a way to shame me, it's not going to work. It's still up. It's still there. You can go find the whole video right now. So knock yourself out there, kiddo. It's not going to do a goddamn thing. Go back to talking about Wings of Redemption, because that's what you clearly want to make your money off of, is by criticizing a guy like that, that's your deal. But if you're going to try to shame me over something that I willfully put up there and that's still up, and that every day I get to go and look at my freaking silver play button and note that this is the career that I want to be on, then that's by all means you. Dude, come on. Don't be so pathetic, man. Try something actually that would get under my skin. If you want to come at me, actually try something that's going to be unique and new. Why are you relying on old jokes? Try something different. You might have the impact you want. I don't know. But if that's all you've got is me crying, shit, dude. Wait till I get 1 million subs. Fuck, dude. It's going to be waterworks for days. Am I still in contact with Geeks and Gamers? No, I haven't talked. I haven't talked to him, and I don't intend to. So bring up Kraut and more old drama nobody cares about. Yeah. The Jeremy Gen Con story hit national news today. Wow, good. That's good. My video on that got age restricted, literally age restricted. It got, because I think the ads on the side of that thing. I didn't realize that was going to happen. Let's see here. What's my main gaming system? PC, Xbox, PS4. Right now, I'm playing mostly on the PS4. I have an Xbox One X. I'm tempted to get the PS4 Pro because of Spider-Man and because of Red Dead 2. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to spend the money for that. I mean, I could, I could probably sell some shit and to cover it or whatever. But like, I mean, I don't know. My system works just fine. On my PC, I don't game as much. I need to upgrade some parts. I want to upgrade to the 1080, the GTX 1080 or whatever the new one is. And then also want to upgrade my RAM, but that's, you know, and that's mostly for video editing. Yeah, it got age restricted, because of the ads on the side. If you ever go to oneangrygamer.net, he runs some salacious ads that were on the side, and some Puritan decided to like age restrict it. Am I going to suffer through Slenderman or the Meg? I want to see the Meg. I want to see the Meg. It looks like so much fun. Have I touched the No Man's Sky? No, I'm still working on Fallout 4 right now. That's my main focus, is finishing up Fallout 4, which I think I'm getting close to the end, and everything else. And, I'm loving it. I never beat it last time, but I'm determined to beat it. And, then I'm probably going to work on, I want to work on The Witcher 3 at some point and beat that, because I got the full thing for that one over on Xbox One X, because they got the HD patch. But then I also want to sit there and replay Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare in order to get ready for Red Dead 2. And I don't get a lot of time to game, so I gotta fit it in where I can, which is one of the reasons why multiplayer games work well for me. All right, Rachel, thanks for coming in. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna be on for about probably 5 more minutes. 5 or 6 more minutes, just to I want to go check on my daughter. She was napping. I want to make sure she's all good and everything. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Do I think Megalodon exists somewhere in the ocean? I would hope so. If we start, look, I don't know if I'm ever going to hit 1 million subscribers. It'd be cool, but like, you know, it is what it is. Slenderman is 20% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, that seems about right. Let's see here. The Witcher 3 is a long game, not to mention the DLCs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Someone said Gamergate. All right, take a shot. Yeah, William. Oh my God. Madison is teething, which only like, it sucks in the evening. It sucks in the evening, but otherwise she's doing okay. She's doing okay. We got her some chew toy stuff. Chew toy, sound like a dog. Some stuff for her to chew on, and she seems to be okay with it. For the most part, she's actually just really happy. We play a lot together. Spend a lot of time together. We were hanging out this morning and just like playing around for a while, and then like, you know, she's 8 months, so that's good. Let's see, Fallout New Orleans or Fallout San Francisco. I think Fallout New Orleans would be awesome. Will we ever see 120-bit processors in our time? Sure. Critics are still trashing Insatiable. Does that come out this Friday? So I know next Friday is Disenchanted. Pamela Madison is 8 months. She's 8 months right now. Does Ryan Johnson know who I am? At this point, I would argue yes. He knows who I am. So the reason why he knows who I am is because of Anita Sarkeesian. Because he follows Anita Sarkeesian. And like he follows Feminist Frequency. And I guarantee like he saw that screen cap. So he knows who I am. Hey, Fry Guy. Yeah, man, I had to start doing it in the middle of the day. It's a lot easier for me to do it in the middle of the day. I should watch the How to Dad channel. I should check that out, yeah. Did I see that? Did I see Philly D's Gamergate reference? I did. That was pretty funny. Something ethics in video game journalism. That was pretty funny. Why do Review Tech USA troll accounts exist? I don't know, man. They got nothing better to do with their lives. I mean, there's so many, like, I don't block many people on Twitter, but all the Review Tech troll accounts, I've blocked those guys. They're just assholes. Fallout London, that'd be pretty cool. Fallout Delaware, that'd be pretty cool. So let's see here. Why not just type fist me? Wait, what? Why not just? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Yeah, I actually have to run. My girlfriend is calling me, and I gotta go help her get something today. So, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. But I appreciate you guys coming on in. I'll be back tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. For another variety of stories. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on. But if you have anything you want to submit, mundanemat.com/submit's a great way to send some articles. Also, check out the Discord, which is the link in the video description. I'm pretty active in there. And if you guys want to talk, that's a great way to do it. In the meantime, I'll see you all tomorrow. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.